Is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries Live with Tanya E. Hood. I'm glad I get the chance to see you again and hoping that you listen to this morning's episode because today I was having a conversation about non-negotiables. There are certain things in our lives that we need to be non-negotiable about. And it took me going through the chaos of my divorce to figure that part out. But here's the thing. If you listen to this morning's episode, I gave you a few tips about how to truly know who you are at the core of your being. Because when you're clear about who you are, then you will give yourself the space and grace that you need to create non negotiables that you can live this thing called life a whole lot better. I also shared a story, part of my premiere book. And in that story this morning, I shared with you what it was like when I decided to backtrack a little bit, go out on a date with my ex. Yeah, there are things in life that makes us go back and try to do it like a double dutch moment with ourselves. My children was missing their dad. And I, like most parents that walk through that situation, decided that if I could figure out maybe now the things are on this side, there's some differences that could possibly be in place. So I went back and I checked it out. If you find yourself going back into old relationships that previously did not support you well, just so that you can have the clarity that you need, do it. Because until you are clear that you are done, you will have yourself eat up inside with guilt, shame, and all kinds of other chaos. You don't need that inside your soul. So when I chose to go back to the ex, I got true clarity. Clarity that what I thought was true actually existed. Sometimes you need to have the three C's exist in your world. Now, those of you that know me and have listened to some things, and also this morning's discussion, oh, that came out of chapter 6 of my premier book. And if you read chapter 6, then you know about the three C's. But if you have not yet read my book, what I want to do is read with you a section that caused me to develop the three C's to begin with. So this morning, go and listen to this morning's episode so that you can hear the first part. Because what I'm going to do right now is read you the second part associated with what I talked about this morning. So in chapter 6, right after I read that section this morning, this is what I wrote. This is where I ask you to consider the relationship in terms of cost. If you need to change basics about who you are to make him feel more secure, it will cost you. I had already lived a life with him where I changed my hairstyle to fit his taste. I changed the style of clothes I wore to fit his liking. I even stopped eating my favorite fruit because he was allergic to it. Did you hear me? I stopped eating my favorite fruit to accommodate his needs. You see, if you listen to this morning's episode and you learned how I made adjustments, like some of us do, you know, those of us that are loving, supportive, and giving, we give, we give, and we give. We give sometimes to our detriment. And in our giving, we think that if you see how much I love you, that if you see how much I'm sacrificing, you will love me back. You will love me like I love you. And that hole in our soul that we're always trying to fill, if that is your space and place, you are looking for them to fill it. But here's the thing that I had to learn. My decision to stop eating my favorite fruit to show him love. He never even knew I did it. He had no idea the sacrifice that I made to show him I loved him. And it wasn't until the aftermath of my divorce, because sometimes it takes something really big to jolt you. I don't know what would do more of a jolting to your soul if you have been married and then find yourself in the aftermath. Yeah, it wasn't until after I did an autopsy on my divorce. And I encourage you, if you are in a space where you have a relationship that is in breakdown, do an autopsy. That will give you clarity about your behavior, and it'll give you clarity about the behavior of the person that you're with. That way, You have a little more understanding about what happened and some strategies that you can use to help you move on next. That is where the 3 C's were birthed. So the 3 C's, if you have the book, again, chapter 6. In chapter 6, I use the 3 C's as a decision tool because there will come a time in your life when you will have to make a clear decision. So the first C is clarity. You need clarification whether what you are deciding is good, what you are deciding is what you need, what you are deciding will support you in this moment. You don't have to use the 3 C's on something really big. Use it on the small microcosms of life. It will support you along the journey. And I learned that using the 3 C's with that first C as clarity gave me the movement that I need for the other 2. You see, one of those other C's is closure. There are some things in your life that you may need to close off. There's some things, if you pay attention to just regular, let's say doors, there are some doors that just won't open unless you close the one that happened first. You cannot move into a better direction if you don't close some things in your life. You cannot move into a better direction until you get closure. And here's the thing about closure. You may not ever get closure from the person that you're seeking. Your closure point may very well be, I choose today that this is how I will feel moving forward. Because some people will never say, I'm sorry. Some people will never give you what you need. Some people cannot give you the closure that you desire. So you have to choose. The other C is connect. There's some things that we can connect to. What is it that you are looking for in your life to connect with? The minute you make a decision about this is what I feel will help me move into a better direction, that thought triggers a few things. Now, you will often hear some people say that it is the law of attraction, but I want to challenge you to believe that you were designed in the image of the creator of the universe. Because when my grandmother told me that, I was like, okay, it didn't make a whole lot of sense until I went through the aftermath. Because it was in the aftermath of my divorce that I met Jesus on a whole different level. And when I decided to have a relationship with the creator of the universe, I then understood when my grandmother said that you are designed in the image of the creator of the universe because God spoke everything into existence. When you speak, words have power. Some of us know the power of words. Words have the power to lift you up. Words have the power to encourage you to move. Words have often, for those of you that have walked through some of the landmines I have already crossed, some words were there to beat you down. Some words stripped elements from your soul. So words have power. And when you decide to use that power so that you are better, you start doing what God said about it. You reap what you sow. The world calls it the law of attraction. But if you speak something into being, then the world and the things around you was like, okay, there has been a message put into the earth. And when you are directly connected with the creator of the universe, he lets his power move. So that is how you can get stuff that's attracted to you. Because when I decided I will have a home, and I wrote out a specific list, some of you know this story. I wrote specifically 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, in-unit townhouse with a driveway between where I needed to live with the metro stations, because I am a native of Washington, D.C. And around where I live, the metro was an easy touch point to get from A to B. Now, I had a vehicle that was kind of old in the aftermath of my divorce, and I was like, if this car breaks down, I still need to get around. So I was real clear about where I would be positioned. I was real clear about who I needed to be around. I started to be real clear. That clarity, the first C, gave me an option to know what I needed to connect to and what I needed to close off. That decision too, that supported me on my journey. That gave me the strength I needed to stand. Because for those of you that are like me, where your big, loving, beautiful blue heart gives to everybody around you, which is why I gave you some assignments to make you better. So if you have not listened to this morning's episode, go back, hear what I shared so that you can let your brilliance shine. Because when you choose what you want moving forward, it will support you and it will support those around you so that you find yourself in a better position. So when I walk through making a decision, choosing to love me as much as I loved someone else, that is where the book is truly trying to get you to. It's called Red Alert. It's He the One, the pocket guide to finding the love of your life. But I need you to know, it's not about a man. This book is written for both male and female. Now, yes, it's written from my perspective. So I'm writing through my journey. But the action steps that I provide as strategy inside of the book support you. The action steps that I provide as strategy in the book will help you move into a better direction. Because it's not about a man. It's about discovering that you are the love you've been waiting for. You are the love that you truly need. And if you decide to love you more than you love everybody else, then that self-care will give you the opportunity to put the boundaries that you need in place to keep you whole. And by doing so, you'll be in a better position, mind, body, and soul, to love everyone around you. And so for today, I'm hoping that this has supported you and that you get the opportunity to know that you are the love that you've been looking for. You have the ability to move into a better direction. Get the tools that you need. Use the 3 C's as a decision tool to support you on the journey. And go back and listen to this morning's episode for a few other tips and tools that I've shared along the way. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, TanyaEHood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. And I am glad I get the chance to see you again. Leave your comments below, because if this message has supported you or someone that you're thinking of, like, share, comment. We can continue this conversation. I look forward to having a deeper discussion with you. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same. See you later.